Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing another tag video and that is the coffee book tag. So I have my coffee and I have my questions and I'm ready to talk about more books. So the first question on the tag is Black. Name a series that's tough to get into but has hardcore fans. So for this one, I myself personally haven't found it very difficult to get into any series. There are series that I haven't gotten into yet because I haven't picked them up yet, but not because I find them typically difficult to read. So I'm going to go with some that I've already read that I know other people struggle with. Basically anything by Tolkien, so the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I know a lot of people find difficult to get into. I know that people find The Hobbit a lot easier to read as well. I know that this is a pretty difficult book to get through as well if it's not your kind of thing. For me, I started reading Tolkien when I was in my early teens, so I found it a lot easier to get into. I think it's the kind of writing style that I like to follow, and obviously the fan base is just huge. And there is another one as well that I wanted to mention because for me, I started reading these books 8 years ago. It's been a very long time since I started reading this series. It was relatively new, so not many people knew about it at the time. But now I know that it is enjoyed by a wide range of people and they're very popular now. And I think one of the reasons why people find this series to get into very difficult is because of the hype and the fan base. And it's hard to get into because of the amount of world building in it. So I'm just going to say what it is, and that is the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I think people do find these difficult to start, and I think it is because of the threat of disappointment because there is so much hype about them and the fan base is so wide now. I have friends that struggled with these books. I didn't struggle with them, but again, like I said, I started them about 8 years ago, so there wasn't as much hype then as there is now. So the second question on the tag is Peppermint Mocha, a book that gets more popular during the winter or festive season. So this one, obviously, so many people have said Harry Potter for this tag, but as I have not read them, I think it would be a bit silly for me to use those ones. So for this one, I'm going with kind of like another range of novels I think get more popular during this Christmassy time. And I am going with Charles Dickens. I really like sitting down at Christmas time with a good classic and reading something I feel comfortable with. So I like the idea that I could pick up a Dickens book. And I know a lot of people as well that like to read Dickens over Christmas because obviously there are a lot of films around that time that come out. I think BBC air their Great Expectations as well around Christmas time quite a lot. These are the two books that I kind of see a lot more of on social media and things like that during Christmas time. Question 3 is hot chocolate. What is your favourite children's book? So, I mean, there are so many out there, but I don't know if you can tell what my favourite one could possibly be. One of my all-time, obviously, favourite children's books is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So I have my beautiful copy here of both of the novels, and it is just, it's so pretty. I absolutely love this. I also have this one here. I also have this, which was my first edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, besides the Disney picture book when I was like 5 years old that my mum used to read me. I think my grandma gave me this one. I also have the Jabberwocky collection of Lewis Carroll's poetry, which does have all the poetry from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass in it as well. And a relatively new addition to my Alice in Wonderland collection is the French version of the novel. Clearly you can see that one of my favourite children's books is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. I love Lewis Carroll. Question 4 is Double Shot Espresso. Name a book that kept you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. To Make It In by Daphne du Maurier. I know I've mentioned Daphne du Maurier a lot during some of my videos, but I really do think that she is one of the best authors that I've read from. She has a very unique way to create atmosphere, and I absolutely adored this book. Even though I read this book during summer, the entire time that I was reading it, I felt like I was reading it in the dark. It was a really interesting way to see Cornwall. She has this fantastic ability to make you feel like you're in a dark time, a dark space. I flew through it. I absolutely adored reading To Make It In. It was fantastic. Question 5 is Starbucks. Name a book you see everywhere. This isn't a book that I've ever read, and it's not one that I kind of intend to pick up. but I'm seeing it everywhere at the minute, and I know it's because it's just been released, but I'm seeing it all over bookshops, I'm seeing it all over YouTube, and that is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. I really just don't have any intention to pick it up. I really like that there are a lot more Beauty and the Beast retellings out at the minute, and I will probably pick at least one up at some point this summer, but Sarah J Maas just isn't for me, I don't think. Question 6 is Hipster Coffee Shop. Give a book by an indie author a shout out. So I don't think that this is an indie book or by an indie author. I just think there isn't enough hype surrounding this book. I've mentioned it before, and I really think that more people should read it. I don't think it has as much credit as it should do. It definitely isn't a book that has been explored in the booktube community, I don't think. I've not seen anything online, I've not seen anyone talking about it. I know I talk about it quite a lot. And that is The Passage by Justin Cronin. Again, I think it's incredible. I really think more people should read it, and this is definitely my pick for the shout out. I think it deserves a massive shout out, and the final installment in the trilogy is out this month, and I've pre-ordered it, and I'm just so excited for it to arrive. Question 7 is Oops, I Accidentally Got Decaf. Name a book that you were expecting more from. For this one, I've decided to go with A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. It was the first book that I reviewed on my channel. I will link it below as well if you want to see what I said about it. Basically, I just felt really underwhelmed by this book. I was really excited about it because I love the idea of scientific origin of supernatural beings, creatures, species, that kind of thing. I really like the history that Deborah Harkness explored, kind of, but I just think that she didn't do it very well. I was quite disappointed. I really wanted to like it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. The final question, question 8, is The Perfect Blend. Name a book or series that was both bitter and sweet, but ultimately satisfying. And that series is The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. So I know that the characters also reappear in the series, and I know that there is another sequel to the prequel series coming out soon, but I really want to think of these 3 books as on their own. I like that they were separate from the Mortal Instruments. I get a bit annoyed when series go on and on and on and there's never any conclusion, but I think that they tied everything together for me, and I'm happy to set it aside and know that it's finished and that there's nothing that's niggling away at me. There's nothing that feels unfinished about this series, and it was horribly sad and emotional, but it was also fantastic and happy, and it just had that perfect combination of emotion in there. That is it today for my coffee book tag. I will link the original video. It's done by Bangity Bangs, like a year ago. I know I'm a bit late. And I'm going to tag Amber from Reading Infinitely, and I'm also going to tag Julie from A Girl with a Book as well. I don't think either of them have done the tag before, and I'd quite like to see how they answer and what kind of books that they pick as well. I will link their channels below as well if you want to go and see other videos that they have done. And thanks for watching. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I upload videos every Tuesday, and I look forward to chatting with you next week as well.